Communication is the key to success. But wait, where is the lock? So, to unlock this lock, today, I, Akansha Khatri, Research Assistant, Department of English, School of Humanities and Social Sciences, will be discussing the understanding of communication models. The outline of this PPT will be the objectives, introduction to communication and communication models, four major fundamental models, that is Shannon-Weaver model of communication, Mehrabian 73855 model, Berlow's SMCR model, helical model of communication. After discussion of the four fundamental models, we'll be having a sum up of the entire models. Then application and learning outcomes, and in the last we'll be having conclusion. So let's get started. Objectives of this PPT will be to introduce and explain four fundamental communication models, to demonstrate how different models of communication can be applied in various contexts, and to understand the relevance of each model in effective communication. Now, before delving into the models of communication, we should know what the communication is. So, it is a very simple stated statement, that is, communication is a process through which a person shares ideas, thoughts, emotions, feelings towards each other. So, if we see to the divert this thing, definition, we can say, communication is a process of exchanging information, ideas, thoughts, opinions or message between individuals, group or organization through a common system of symbols, sign or behavior. So, to create the bridge for this communication, we have different models that states framework that explain how information is transmitted from a sender to a receiver. These models provide insight into the process of encoding, decoding and feedback of communication. Our first model is Shannon-Weaver model of communication. So, if we see, there are basic elements of having any sort of communication, that is sender, message, channel and receiver. But how the sender is sending the message and how a receiver is receiving a message, we have an addition of two transmitters, that is encoder and decoder. How this model works. Suppose there is a sender, he is sending a message. We'll take an example, we have a telephonic conversation. So, a sender is sending a message that he or she is speaking something with the help of a phone, telephone or a mobile phone. So, a person who is sending a message, he or she is a sender. Then we have transmitter, which is an encoder, the base for which the message is being received, that will be a telephone. Then we have a channel on which medium the telephone will be taking the message, that will be the cables or the signals, and then a message is being received. Ultimately, it has to be delivered. So for delivering, we have a transmitter again, that is known as a decoder, that with the help of a telephone or the mobile phone, decoding will be done and ultimately the message will be delivered to the receiver. After the receiver has received the message, again he or she will be again giving the revert of what the sender has been sent. This will be considered under the feedback. So this is what Shannon-Weaver model of communication is all about. This is a very basic model. It is also known as a mother of all models of communication. So this basically model is being initiated by two individuals, Shannon and Weaver. Shannon was a mathematician, Weaver was a scientist. It is basically a model under mathematician theory. But again, with the help of the advanced technology, we have telephone, signals, cables, mobile phones. The particular stuff has been converted into Shannon-Weaver's model of communication that came under the concept of communication. Second model we have Mehrabian theory of model, that is 73855 model of communication. Now what this model is all about? So, whenever we communicate, we have three basic parameters. First we have words, second we have tone, third we have body language. Each parameter consists of different significance, a different weightage. So, in the Mehrabian theory, it has been said, our words cater only 7%. Then 38% is being considered by the vocals, our tone, and 55% is considered by the body language. So for this thing, the best example is a face-to-face communication. So I'll give you one example. Suppose if I say that go out of the class. Statement is, the words are go out of the class, but my tone is very much aggressive, but my way is very much rude. That means a person can get offended. But again, if I say go out of the class, my words are same, but my tone is bit light, my tone is low, my body language is bit calm. That means same words but different tone and different body language can have a different impact. So that is what Mehrabian 73855 model of communication is. That is, our words cater only 7%. People in this context be like, I haven't said any bad words. How can you get offended? Sometimes, not I would say many times, it has been said. Our words are plays only a very minor role. The way we speak, our way, our manner, that matters a lot. So that is Mehrabian theory of communication is all about. Third, we have Berlow's, that is SMCR. Now, what SMCR is all about? S means sender, M means message, C means channel, R means receiver. This is as same as Shannon-Weaver or the basic model. We can also call it as Aristotle. That is a very basic model that consists sender, message, channel and receiver. But what Berlow stated? Berlow stated that the personal traits of sender and receiver matters a lot. The best example for this communication model is the classroom teaching. If a teacher is teaching with a full enthusiasm, passion, zeal, the way he or she is delivering the content, and in return, how beautifully a student is getting the information, how a student is learning, having an active listening trait, that completely have a different significance in terms of getting the conversation be completed. If a teacher is speaking just a normal way, but a student is also not listening, that means communication is being done. But again, it's not active, it's not the appropriate that is supposed to be considered. So Berlow stated the physical trait of sender and receiver matters a lot. That means how efficiently, how enthusiastically a person is delivering or a person is receiving the content, that matters a lot to have a good weightage in the communication that is going on. Then we have helical model of communication. Now what is helical model? Helical model, a name which is derived from a helix shape. What is a helix shape? It is a shape like a spring. Now what does this shape means? That means it is an ongoing communication. For example, I told someone that tomorrow there will be a fair in our apartment. The same thing the person said to somebody else, that tomorrow there will be a fair in the apartment. Again, the same thing that person will be sharing among the people, that is tomorrow there will be a fair in an apartment. Again, after 2 hours, 3 hours or 5 hours, somebody else will be coming to me and they will be saying, Akansha, do you know there is a fair in the apartment? That means the message that I have generated is again coming back to me. That is helical model of communication is all about. It is an ongoing process, it is a continuation, it is evolving. Maybe in the passage of time when reached to different people, the message is being changed. It can be developed, it can be underrated, but it is an ongoing process. It is a build-up of what past has happened. So we can say helical model of communication, that is a continuous process, evolving process and cumulative process, that is ongoing, never-ending and will be coming back again to the point it has been generated. This is the best example we can give for the helical model of communication. So we have discussed 4 models, that is Shannon-Weaver, Mehrabian 73855, Berlow's SMCR and helical model. So let's have a sum up for the same. Shannon-Weaver is basically a linear communication with noise. That is a two-way messaging. A person is sharing, a person is sending the message and a receiver is receiving a message. With the help of encoders, we have channel, we have decoders, we have feedback. Next we have Mehrabian that has a different parameters, that is 73855. 7 for words, 38 for tone, 55 for the body language. That matters a lot. This thing we need to understand. Our word matters only 7%. Third, we have Berlow's SMCR, that is sender, message, channel, receiver. In this particular model, the physical traits, the personal traits of sender and receiver matters a lot, and it is best for the educational setting because our physical traits, our personal traits, that matters a lot in terms of sharing something, in terms of receiving something. Last model we have helical model, that is a continuous evolving communication for long-term relationship. That is, it is a long communication, long conversational method, but again it is a continuous evolving and cumulative sort of model. So we have discussed the 4 fundamental models of communication. Now let's talk about the application and learning outcomes of each individually. If I talk about Shannon-Weaver, that is simply a mass communication sort of model. It is used to understand a mass communication and of course for the personal level. Then we have Mehrabian. It is all about emotions, how beautifully our tone, our body language that includes. It is useful in terms of a non-verbal communication. Now, what is non-verbal communication? The sort of communication in which we use 0% of words. But again, in this we are not using a 0%, but again we are using a very minor percentage, that is a 7%. So it is somewhere relevant to the non-verbal communication. Third, we have Berlow's SMCR, that is again educational setting. It is more into a sender and receiver, personal traits, the personal skills we could say. Then we have helical model, that is a build up, that is a conversation that is being started, it is being evolving, and again cumulative, that is it is a never ending concept that helps for grasping communications involving era, or I would say nature. So, what are the learning outcomes of this particular PPT? The learning out of the model comprehension, we have studied, we have learned the 4 basic fundamental model of communication. I am again repeating it. Shannon-Weaver model of communication. Second, we have Mehrabian's 73855 model of communication. Third, we have helical model of communication. And fourth, we have Berlow's SMCR model of communication. So, the first learning outcome, the stuff we have learned in the particular session was the model comprehension. Second, the practical applications. How these models is not only based in the books or notes, it can be used and it is used in the practical life as well, so that we can have a better and a smooth conversation, a smooth communication process. Third, analytical skills. Analysis can be done, how beautifully a person is sharing the content and how effectively a person is receiving the content. So these were the 3 learning outcomes, again model comprehension, practical application and analytical skills. So the conclusion is strategic alignment, effective relationships and enhanced communication. So by considering the models, we can say that strategic alignment, a proper alignment is being done of the conversation the person is having. Effective relationship, we can easily able to understand each other's opinion, thoughts, emotion. That is what communication is. And the bridge for such communication is the communication models that we have discussed. And enhanced communication, of course, if the base is clear, if alignment is clear, if the receiving is clear, if the sharing is clear, ultimately the conclusion, the end result will be automatically the beautiful. That will enhance communication. So yeah, that was all for today's lecture. So I would again repeat and sum up that we have discussed what is communication. That is the process of sharing ideas, thoughts, emotions, feelings towards each other individually, group or interpersonal concept. Second, the model of communication, that is the base, the framework of getting a smooth conversation. Third, the 4 fundamental models, that is Shannon-Weaver, Mehrabian theory, then Berlow's SMCR and last helical. The conclusion, the learning outcomes. So that's it for today's session. Thank you so much.